Executing the shot. Hi, this is Shihan Hussaini, your archery coach and director of Who Archery Mission, as well as the director of the Coaches Committee, Archery Association of India. You are in the Level 2 Compound Bow Specialization Workshop of the Who Archery Mission and the Archery Association of Tamil Nadu, TAAT. In this section, you will learn about how to execute a shot with a compound bow. How to execute a shot with a compound bow. The first order of business while teaching an archer to shoot with a mechanical release is to teach them how to safely draw the bow without prematurely releasing. To accomplish this, the archer should draw with the thumb and fingers of the trigger of the release aid. For pure back tension releases, the archer may want to brace the release in the direction that will not allow it to fire by placing fingers against the back of the release while drawing. Draw safely with a pure back tension release aid. When learning how to shoot a compound bow with a mechanical release, the archer should shoot at short range at a blank buttress, as short as possible. The blank empty buttress is also a good place to perfect your form and work on form improvements. Once an arrow is nocked and the release is on the string, raise the bow to rest on the knees or hip. Support the bow by holding it up with the release so that the bow hand can be properly set on the riser. Next, raise the bow to the height of the target and draw on target with the arrow as much as parallel to the floor as possible. Pause between raising and drawing the bow, and prevent the arrow from falling off the rest. So you raise it up, hold it, and then start drawing. Some archers tend to come down with the elbow hand like this while drawing back to make the draw easier. They instinctively use additional muscles which help them to overcome the peak weight, right? You know, some of archers do that, raising it up. Although the bow hand is kept in the same position, the arrow point will then be higher than the nock. If something breaks during the action, the arrow may fly way over the target and cause accidents to people passing by. This should be avoided under all circumstances. The sight should be at the center of the target when full draw is reached. The sight will not remain on target during the draw due to the motion and effort necessary to draw, but it should start and finish on target. When full draw is achieved, place the draw hand in the proper anchor position and begin the aiming process. Look through the peep sight and center it on the scope housing. Check the level. At this point, focus on either the sight or the target, but not both. Choose one and be consistent, either the sight or the target. The eye cannot focus at two distances at the same time. This is why one is chosen. Focusing on only one item also makes it easier to accept the wiggle area of the bow. Do not try to hold the bow still. Let it float or wiggle. Allow it to float or wiggle. The subconscious mind will automatically keep the wiggle of the sight centered on the target. Trying to hold still will cause more wiggles than simply trying to relax. Consciously trying to force the sight on the target causes unnecessary muscle movement in addition to the movement called for by the subconscious mind. If the archer chooses to focus on the target, try using a small dot or a ring on the scope lens that can easily be ignored by the conscious mind. If the archer chooses to focus on the sight, try a large dot on the lens that makes it easier for the conscious mind to ignore the target. The larger the dot, the mind ignores the target. To explain the system, compare it to watching television while a bug is flying around the room. If a person is focused on the television program they will not notice the movement of the bug or the mosquito. The mosquito or the bug will only be noticed if it lands on the television screen. This is the same as focusing on the target, causes us to accept or not notice the movement of the sight. In case of focusing on the sight instead of the target, if this person is focused on the bug or the mosquito, they cannot watch the television. It is the same principle either way. When using a pure back tension release to trigger this hinge type of release, which is the back tension release is otherwise known as the triggerless hinge type of release, begin to pull at this point. If a release with a trigger is being used, move the thumb or finger onto the trigger while centering the peep and checking the level. Apply approximately one half of the pressure necessary to release the trigger. Once the thumb or finger is properly set on the release, begin to pull with the back and posterior string shoulder muscles, as if pulling a bow through the clicker. You know, when you pull. When the proper muscles of the back are used for the pull, the bicep or the drawing arm is relaxed. The tension in the release hand does not change at all. No increase and no relaxation. Entry to intermediate level archer holds the bow at full draw with their back and arms and press the trigger with the finger. Many of these archers creep as they aim, indicating a decrease in back tension while at full draw. Once the pull with the back muscle begins, there is absolutely no conscious thought about the release hand whatsoever. After gaining an understanding of this, the draw does not need to be stopped to check peep, level and set thumb. The draw will become a slow, constant pull throughout the shot, a constant pull. Again, this pull is the same as pulling through the clicker on a recurve bow. Changes in the body while pulling will cause the release to fire all by itself. There is no need for thoughts about when or how to shoot the shot ever again. When the pull is started, the archer must be willing to pull forever, aiming and pulling with no expectation that the shot will ever go off. Although it is important to trust the back tension system to work without using the conscious thought to execute the shot, some archers may wish to know what causes the release to fire. Continuing to pull on the release with back tension increases pressure between the hand and the release because the compound is shot from the wall. The increase in pressure causes the back of the hand to stretch. The back of the hand stretches. As the hand stretches, the thumb or the trigger finger moves rearward at the rate that is faster than the rate that the release moves. The trigger moves with the thumb or the finger that is in contact with. When the trigger moves far enough, the string is released. With a quality release, this movement changes in relationship between the hand and the release is not typically visible or felt. Keep in mind that there is no conscious change in the relationship between the hand and the release. Calmly talk your archer, your student, through this process of execution with each shot as they learn how to execute a proper shot. By doing this, the coach is performing the function of the mental program for the archer. Once the proper method is learned and committed to the subconscious, the archer may be taught to use a mental program in order to control the shot the way the coach did. Well, thank you. You just learned about how to execute a shot. Catch you again with yet another session in the compound section. Let's break up right here. Since the lecture, as I told you again and again, is loaded with so much information, it is not going to get into your head easily. If it does, you must be a genius. Remember, this is not going to be on YouTube forever. We're going to remove it. So utilize the time right now to listen to it over and over again in your headphones. This is going to truly help you understand what I say. Do not lose the opportunity. It's not going to be there on YouTube forever. Keep repeating till you're thorough with it. God bless you. God bless each one of you. Catch you again soon. This is Who. God bless you. Bye-bye.